Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today I have on my channel author Tori Lynn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. Now tell us about yourself.
Well, I am a mommy of two girls. One just turned 11 on Monday, and then I have the other one that just turned 12 on last month. So I'm a mommy of two girls. That's amazing. They're also self-published authors. Um, One published at 5, the other one published at 6. And Erin's book is about kind of like a child's perspective of going through divorce. Um, what we're going to do is probably change the title of it, but it's still the same content inside. Ryan's book is basically about not getting lost in the struggle of divorce. Um, so it was a little bit after I published the divorce is when I realized how it was affecting them, although they were that small. But the effects that it had on them, especially Erin, um, was one of the reasons why I thought, it'd be good to get a child's perspective. Let's see what else. We are now we've been in Atlanta for 3 years now. They sing, act, and dance, so that was the reason what brought us here. So we're just now, life is just now settling down for us. I'll say that.
Wow. All right. I love the cover of Divorce. Now, can you tell us about the covers of your books?
I would think that I'm guessing that I don't know. I don't remember how I came up with the book cover of the divorce. It was just something I saw in my brain. Like I just saw some rings that were broken up. And I just saw it. So I called my graphic designer and I said, hey, can you do this? And he was like, sure. And when he brought it to life, it was just like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, you know what, put my eyes on there because it's going to come from, it's a true story. So put my eyes on there so they can see that it's just me and this, you're going to get a story through my eyes.
Okay. All right. Now tell us about your books, Taboo and Divorce.
Taboo is really, and which is the reason how I came up with the book cover is, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So how I came up with that book cover is it's really taboo issues that the church isn't talking about. And nothing against the church because I'm definitely a believer. However, if there's some things that the church is not talking about, and we need to address. And one thing that this is during the time we were homeless. We were actually just came out of a homeless shelter. We were staying with one of our friends, and she was living with her living boyfriend. And I said, I think God just want me to write a book on sex. And she was just like, well, I can see that. And I said, well, why do you say that? I said, because I'm confused, so you might can help me out. And she's like, well, that's because we're taking our y'all's men. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I had another friend that was in a, what is it called when you have a relationship where you go both ways? You like men and women.
Bisexual?
Yes. Okay, so she was in one of those relationships. So I told her about it, and I said, hey, what do you think about this? I think God want me to write a book. And so she was just like, well, yeah, because y'all don't know what y'all doing. So I was just like, okay, all right, there's my confirmation. And because when I said, God said, it could have gone either way for them because, how people like, well, I don't know what God said, but they were both for it. Like, well, yeah, we're taking y'all's men, so y'all may need some help from God. So when I did that, I looked up scriptures and and that was one of the compliments I did get is that it was very well researched. So that's like a huge compliment. However, I didn't know which way it was going to go because it is talking about being molested and how nymphoism starts and how You know, sometimes people, when they get married, and they end up being cheating on because they didn't know what to do once they got married. Uh, some people didn't know what to talk. Like this one lady said, "I'm so glad you wrote this book because now I could just give it to my daughter because now she's married and I'm too embarrassed to tell her, you know, what to do and what not to do, what's acceptable and not acceptable." And so some people just don't, you know, now she can spare herself of having the conversation because she got the book for her daughter.
Okay. And divorce?
The divorce, that is just my story. It's what I went through. Once I realized that one thing I was doing was I was going live on Facebook, and I was that was what it was just my let out. That was cathartic for me, and I would tell people like, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling, and because I was like really going through it because I just had two babies. Um, and that was like my let out. So once I started doing it, my mom's also a published author. So she wrote some of my story in her stage play and in her book. And I was like, Mom, that is just really, you know, it was more to it than this. And my mom, she wrote it from a mom's standpoint. You know, she had her story come from a mother's viewpoint of what happened. So I said, you know what, I'm going to tell my own story. And so that was the other thing that made me go ahead and write my own story.
Oh, wow. How did you feel about being on TBN?
It was one of those moments you had to take in. I can tell you, if you watch the interview, like my eyes are naturally baggy, but my eyes were so baggy because I didn't sleep. I was that excited that I did not sleep. I even took a Benadryl. I did not sleep. It was a wrap for me. I was that excited. I was so excited. It was like probably one of the most exciting times of my entire life.
Wow. I watched it and I was emotional. What is
Oh, really?
yes. What is your testimony?
I would have to say my testimony is, are you talking about as far as the divorce?
Your life? Yeah.
I would say being able to bounce back emotionally, because that. I mean, I've been through three divorces, so my problem is not getting a man, getting married like that. My problem is choosing the right one. So you know how we know that when the man chooses you, you know you have to choose him back, and but the thing was is like choosing wisely, and I I, what I learned in three marriages and three divorces, what I learned is because the thing is, I was just thought, okay, something's wrong with me. I need to hang this up. I don't need to get married. Nobody. And then last year I was engaged. I don't need to marry nobody else. I don't need to do none of this stuff. Something's wrong with Tori. And so there was a man of God that had contacted me, and we were talking on the phone. He was like, God has a husband for you. And I was like, look, you know, I heard that way April the 1st of 2001. God said, I'm going to put you in marriage ministry. I've been through three divorces. Obviously, I heard wrong. And so he began to talk to me and prophesy. And then he says to me, he was like, look, what better way to get a story than from somebody that's been through it three times? So he says, on top of that, he said, you're the common denominator in three marriages. And what did you learn from the three? What did all three of those marriages have in common? I married all three men out of their parents' home. And we all got married within 6 months. All three men are married out their parents' home. So that was something that's a big, huge light bulb and learning moment for me, you know, because at first I thought something was wrong with me, which is, you know, I still have to grow, because I had to say, okay, now what's causing me to choose men that I have to help? What's causing me to choose men that are not stable? What's causing me to choose men, you know? So I did have to go within as well, though.
Wow. How has your family supported you as an author?
Initially, with the first book, my mom, when she finally read it, she was upset. She was like, "You made me sound like Mama Joyce." and she didn't speak to me. She didn't speak to me for like 2 weeks. So my aunt called her and she was like, "Look, this is her perspective. This is through her eyes. This is how she was feeling that you were doing her, and that you were doing to her at a time that she needed you most." So after my mom heard from my aunt and she kind of got, okay, I can see that. That's when my mom and I started back speaking again. And then as far as Taboo, my mom, she hasn't read Taboo, but she's heard from one of the ministers that did read it, and she was telling me that because this one minister, she's like really really critical, like really critical, and for her, she's also my mom's friend though, but for her to like really compliment my book, that was like huge for me as well.
But not Mama Joyce, not Mama Joyce.
You made me sound like Mama Joyce. She didn't speak to me 2 weeks.
Who can benefit from reading your books?
Anybody that's wanting to get married, I would say, because you would want to know, how do someone that felt like they were so in love suddenly be in a hateful relationship where police is involved and going to jail is involved and children comes in, in the midst of it, I would say anybody that's wanting to get married. I would say anybody that's thinking about getting divorced, and I would say anybody that's going through postpartum or coming out of a divorce. I would say it can hit anyone.
Mm-hmm. What has been your greatest accomplishment thus far as an author?
I would say the fun part, the great part was when I was actually touring the book. That was a lot of fun. But my mother and I were touring together. And so my mom is, I don't want you to say that. Nobody with it. When you talk about me, you say this. And I was like, look, we can't do this. We can't be arguing every time we go and speak somewhere because you don't like what I said. So it kind of came tumbling down afterwards.
What do you want readers to take away from reading your books?
I would say there's life after divorce. Because sometimes when you feel like you're going through a divorce and the hurt and pain that comes along with it, sometimes that's a very lonely feeling. And studies show that people, especially men, many times will commit suicide after divorce. But I would say definitely, that's what I would say. I would want people to realize that there is life after divorce. It's just getting through that hump.
What are you working on right now?
I'm actually in classes right now. I graduate June the 28th, life coaching class.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How can readers find you and your books?
They can find me at authortorilynn.com, authortorilynn.com.
Okay. And is there anything else you would like to add before we close?
Yeah, I guess I would probably need to say this. Taboo is really not, I wrote it seriously to help someone. This is just not a free book, because there is a how-to section in there. Because again, when my friends said, well, we're taking y'all's men because y'all don't know what y'all doing because y'all now Christians and so I did put a how-to section in there. So it's just not a free book. I actually had people in mind, and that's why I put scriptures in there to follow up with this or that, or like if somebody say, is pleasing your mate, against God's will? Okay, well, let's see what the Bible says about that. Or, what about threesomes? Okay, well, let's see what the Bible says about that. So it wasn't just like a free book like that. I actually had helping people in mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, I would like to thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, this is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. I am your literary ambassador. Have a nice day and happy reading.